Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. You see that period or that time, some people become very insensitive, especially when something is happening to other group of people or marginalized group as them, and they think it is a good period for them to make jokes or for them to throw shades or gaslight other people. I mean, you have actually lost it as a human. A Palestinian woman actually came out to tell Black people, why are you people still supporting Kamala Harris when Marcella Williams is about to be executed? So she was saying that Kamala Harris is now the president. Why is it that Kamala Harris cannot save Marcella Williams? Now, like the last I checked, Joe Biden is still the sitting president of United States. Kamala Harris is just a presidential aspirant, right? She is not the president. She is still the vice president. And there is a limit a vice president can do. And sometimes when you people want to vote, vent, I have seen a lot of people wanting to vet and all that. I want you all to understand that your president is Joe Biden. Go to your president and vent. And also, this is the worst or not a great period for some people to think it is okay to use what is happening to Black people, what is happening to Marcelo, to think, they think it is okay for them to mix, bring Kamala Harris into it. It is not a cool something to do. I know you all do not like her, but please leave her out of this. Let's concentrate on the man that is going through it now. Let's get into this video.
If you're following the story of Marcellus Williams, who is a Black man who has already been exonerated with DNA evidence for murder he did not commit, if you're following his story and you're still voting for Kamala Harris, I would like to ask you why. Because she's already in power. What is she doing to help Marcellus? What is the top queen of cops going to be doing for the Black people in America who are so brutalized and victimized by the police of this state? What is the top queen of cops going to do for them that she isn't already doing now?
Using a Black man's case to try and discredit Kamala Harris, who has nothing to do with the case, while showing and proving that you know nothing about how our government works. The federal level, the 3 branches of government, the state level, you know nothing about the powers that each office holds. And to use the impending death of an innocent Black man to try to discredit Kamala Harris for your own selfish personal reasons is some nasty, nasty work. Marcellus's execution is still scheduled for today. You could have done that video to specifically talk about Marcellus's case, to encourage your viewers to contact the governor's office. But you didn't do that. Your hatred for Kamala Harris was more important than the life of this Black man. You don't care about Marcellus. You don't care about his case. You don't care about Black people, the Black community, the plight of Black people. You prove that. You prove that you only care about turning voters away from Kamala Harris because you think it will benefit your cause. And that's all that matters to you and the others like you. Your cause. And your cause alone. And then you follow up with this video to spew more hate towards Kamala Harris instead of acknowledging the Black voices that are telling you that you are being anti-Black. No, you specifically said you're not listening to the voices that are telling forces that are trying to divide the Palestinians from Black people. It's not outside forces. It's people like you in the ones that came before you, in the ones who continue to spew anti-blackness. That is what is causing the division between the black community and the Palestinian community. And imagine my surprise when I looked you up to find that you follow me. But don't you worry. Don't you worry not one bit. I removed your follow and I blocked you. Y'all seriously have black people fucked up.
Hey, if you're following the story of Marcellus Williams, who is a black man who has already been exonerated with DNA evidence for murder he did not commit, if you're following his story and you're still voting for Kamala Harris, I would like to ask you why. Because she's already in power. What is she doing to help Marcellus? What is the top queen of cops going to be doing for the black people in America who are so brutalized and victimized by the police of this state? What is the top queen of cops going to do for them that she isn't already doing now?
What are you talking about? Seriously. Invoking Marcellus Williams' name to somehow blame it on Kamala Harris is a delusion so vast the Grand Canyon and your audacity can fit in at the same time. First of all, what powers does the sitting vice president of the United States have in the state of Missouri? Quickly. Second of all, top prosecutor in the state, the top cop, those cops in the state of Missouri are the ones trying to stay his execution because even they said, yeah, we don't think he did it. We need to do more research. There's a bunch of DNA evidence that pretty much states that, yeah, he wasn't at the scene of the crime. We have a problem. Mike Parsons, the current governor, does not care because we know how society thinks about black people and one less black person alive is better. I would rather you just say you don't like Kamala Harris. You don't want to vote for the black lady because that makes more sense than you making the reach between the terrible situation that's currently going on with Marcellus Williams and somehow it being Kamala Harris's fault. Fun fact, black people aren't to blame for everything. Might I suggest you not make these videos without any thought and just vibes because you sound crazy but calculated. You decided to take a situation where a man very quite possibly is going to lose his life tomorrow to talk about Kamala Harris. That's a level of hate that I haven't seen in a while. That's impressive. Kudos to you for invoking a new circle of hell. Because taking national outcry to talk about a presidential candidate who has nothing to do with anything related to this issue is wild. But I hope you had the day you deserve and I hope it was worth it. I hope this video was worth it. Okay? All right. You have a good one.
Hello. If you're here looking for my post on Marcellus Williams and Kamala Harris, please note that I've set it to private. The reason being that my criticism of Harris is being perceived as anti-black. I would like to clarify that my hatred of Harris, yes, I do hate her, has to do with protection for fracking and a failure to stop irreversible climate change, her ironclad support for occupation, her failure to protect women's rights, the systemic maintenance of poverty, the housing crisis, a commitment to the world's most lethal fighting force, and of course, the continued sponsorship and approval of a live-streamed ethnic cleansing on my dime. I don't hate Harris because she's black. I hate her because she's evil. Now, regardless of whether my take on Harris's silence about Marcellus Williams' impending wrongful execution is racist or not, I have no intention of fueling the perceived divide between the Palestinian community and the African American community. I'm not even Palestinian, but I know people can't always tell the difference. There has and will always be a concerted effort to pit minority communities against each other so that we fight each other instead of fighting for each other. So I'm starting over, y'all. Imam Khalifa Marcellus Williams is scheduled to die in 24 hours. The governor of Missouri doesn't care. The Supreme Court has ruled to uphold his execution order. Biden is a walking skin bag who doesn't know what day of the week it is. And if the next adult in the room isn't willing to speak up to save the life of an innocent man now, I have little faith in her doing so later.
I don't even know like what tone to use when recording this video. Marcellus Williams was just executed. This can only make sense to you if, statistically, you believe that there were 7 jurors who were black, and by chance they just had valid reason to strike 6 of them, even though the prosecutor said he struck 1 because he was black, had glasses, and looked like he could have been his brother. Or if, statistically, you believe that it's a likelihood, or even close to being a likelihood, that somebody could stab somebody 43 times and not have any shred of DNA or forensic evidence tying them to the crime scene. Forensic evidence is not just DNA. It's hair follicles, it's fibers from your clothing, it's shoe prints, and they could not corroborate anything that tied this person who broke and entered and stabbed somebody 43 times to the crime scene. This can only make sense if you believe that whatever the family wants, the family of the victim, does not have any bearing on what should be done, even though in June 2023, as justification for why he disbanded the panel that was investigating the DNA evidence, he used the excuse that we're leaving the victim's family in limbo. The same victim's family who agrees that he should not have been executed. This can only make sense if it just doesn't matter that the previous prosecutors fucked up in handling the murder weapon and literally have made it impossible to even determine whether his DNA was on it. By default, meaning that we can never actually know if he actually did this shit. And he just died for it. Do you hear how fucking barbaric that is? Oh, and everything's intertwined. Because guess what happened when the United States Supreme Court got this case in front of them? 3 justices approved the petition to stay the execution. The rest of the 6, 3 of which appointed by Donald Trump, denied it. A Supreme Court majority would have saved his life because there was a miscarriage of justice on every fucking other level before it even got to that point. I ask you, when is it ever justified for the state to sanction the exact same crime that you committed back towards you? Why is it justified for the death penalty? Why is it justified for us to spend more of your money to execute somebody which we could not have known whether or not they actually did the crime? There's nothing more I can say. Mike Parson, Donald Trump.
This is absolutely abhorrent and disgusting behavior. And the fact that you would try to use this man's plight, a very, very serious one, because this is normal here in the United States for Black people, and you try to weaponize that because you want people not to vote for Kamala?
So this is all I got from this video, and I really don't understand Palestinians, obsession with Black people. See, you can talk about whatever that is going on, because I have been talking about what has been going on, especially to this man, on a separate video. There is no need mixing up anything, right? Leave Kamala Harris out of this at this point in time. All we are looking and working for right now is to see how we can make things happen so this man does not, whatever that is being planned to happen to him does not happen, right? And I really do not understand how some people cannot understand that when it comes to politics or when it comes to offices, everybody has got his or her own job to do, right? And it's quite unfortunate that some people are already mistaking Kamala Harris as the president of the United States when she is not, because she made mention of how she has already assumed office. She has not assumed any office. Joe Biden is still the sitting president of the United States. So if there is anybody to keep calling and shouting on, it's Joe Biden, right? Kamala Harris is the vice president, and there is a limit to what Kamala Harris can do at this point in time, right? Because she is not the president. And you all understand that we have legislature, executive, and judiciary, like the 3 arms of government that work separately, and the rest of it. All these are the things that we are supposed to understand. instead of looking for a way to drag people into this, especially Kamala Harris. See, I have been saying this. I understand that it's really been a whole lot of tension going on between Palestinians and Black people. Please, but I really do want you people to use your brain while talking. Please do not come on the internet and, like, gaslight people at the same time. I mean, this is not a great time to talk about whatever that you want to talk, or start linking Kamala Harris to whatever that is going on with Marcellus Williams, right? I mean, this is not a great period because, I mean, Black people have been going through it for some months now. And I don't know when this is ever going to stop, right? And I do not have problem if Palestinians have decided that they don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. It is okay to pick your candidate, but I hope the candidate you are picking or you are thinking of voting is going to be worth it, right? Now, some people really do not understand how all this work when it comes to politics, right? So people think it's just something like, you just get emotional and you jump to it. Leave emotions aside if you really want to get results. You just really have to focus. Do not let your emotions overpower you or take over you and the rest of it. And I also do not have a problem with anybody that says that they want to vote for Trump, Kamala Harris, or Justin. I think that it's her name. I hope I did not butcher that, right? But what I keep saying is that I hope whatever you are doing is going to be worth it in the end. That is just what I am so much concerned about. But then I am urging Palestinians to please keep away or stay away from mentioning Black people's name, because, we were not, Black people and Palestinians were not born together, right? There is nothing like Siamese twins or being twins on this part, as we speak. So Black people have every right to decide who they want to vote for. Black people have every right to say that at this point in time, we need to focus at home, right? Because this is what they did and it became a problem. I do not ever see you people coming out to assist Black people, or I also do not see Black people asking people for help, but they are the first to come out when people need help, right? So I think boundaries are very important. Respect people's privacy. At a particular point in time, they said, we have really done our best because they really did push whatever that has been going on for people to understand what is going on. And they were one of the people that also made this thing to also be a thing, because at some point they were so keen, let's boycott, let's do this, and all that. If I talk about being fully out, Black people were really invested and fully out for you all. And then the little period they took away because it was almost time for the election. And you do not expect people to fight other people's battle when their home is burning, right? I love the fact that they retracted and they moved back and they said it is time for us to focus. Take care of our homes and make sure we get it right. And then that was when it became a huge problem, because you all could not handle the fact that people cannot stick with you forever. You all thought that Black people are just going to spend the rest of their life or the rest of their days fighting for you. And the fact that you all took it very personal to start attacking them or start using some rate disease words towards them, and that also shows how you all were not even you all were not even appreciative. And now with everything they did, now it now looks like their effort that they never even made effort, thanks to you guys. And I hope that whatever you all are looking forward to or working towards, I hope you all get it with the way you all are working, the way you all are doing, because I don't see where it is leading you people. But then, we are still very much alive. We are also going to sit down and see how it goes, because we definitely will see how the people you all are going to vote for rolls out. See you all in my next video. And lastly, keep Black people's name out of your mouth. We do not owe you. Black people do not owe you people any shit. Bye for now.